Okay. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Cannot hear me. Hello? Can you all hear me? Okay. All right. So again, my name is Adrian, and me and my colleague here today. This is Ling over here, on the other camera. Okay. Bye. Thank you, Shaman, for confirming you can hear our audio. Okay, so today we are here to demonstrate to you our new 3D printer. We are going to announce our 3D printer in a moment, but today we will be setting up this 3D printer in a very short time. That's why we scheduled this session to be only 30 minutes. We don't want you to stay here for too long as well. Okay, so thanks for joining, and welcome to our second day of 3D campaign 2020. Okay, so by end of this session, we'll be giving out 200 grams filament, but I hope you guys enjoy this session of setting up this 3D printer. And I know that you guys you all want to know what type of 3D printer it is. So without wasting more time, so this is the 3D printer that we are talking about. All right, on the screen over here. So this is BQB1, which is from 3Tech, Big 3Tech. So initially they started off by manufacturing and designing a lot of accessories for Creality Enders model 3D printers. And right now they finally entered the 3D printer trend. So you can imagine that a company who have a lot of experience in accessories, and right now they have their own 3D printers, which 100% is compatible with their own accessories. So if you know Big 3 Tech accessories, you will know that they are big player of BL Touch, silent board, and many more kinds of accessories. So we will explain about this 3D printer as we go along. But okay, so thank you guys for joining again, and yes, happy New Year over. Yeah, you can get it as a Christmas present era. So without wasting more time, I am going to pass the floor to my colleague here, Ling. He will be demonstrating to you how to set up a 3D printer. All right, the easiest way to set up a 3D printer. All right, Ling, I'm going to pass the floor to you. So yes, let me adjust the screen over here. Yes, so Ling over here, you can see he's on the big screen here. He will be assembling the BQB1 3D printer. We have already unboxed it. All the parts are on the desk right now. Everything is on the desk. You don't see a lot of components here. That is because this 3D printer is already pre-assembled by the manufacturer. Okay, bear in mind that this 3D printer, if you Google search or if you check on YouTube to see BQB1 3D printer assembly tutorial, you will actually see that it's not as easy as what we are demonstrating today. The 3D printer actually comes in small components, but Cytron is providing we are actually providing this BQB1 3D printer that is already pre-assembled by our supplier. So it makes assembling so much easier. You don't actually need to have a lot of background or technical background to set up this 3D printer. All right, we calculated how many screws that you actually need to screw for this 3D printer, and it's actually just 10. While I talk here, Ling has already started assembling the 3D printer, right? Like assembling F1 car tires. So right now he's assembling the both sides, the profile, and there's actually just 8 screws on both sides, 4 screws on the left and 4 screws on the right. And it's actually very straightforward. There's of course a user manual in the box, but because the steps is so simple, we can actually remember which screw to go in, how to set up the 3D printer without actually referring to the user manual. Okay, so as Ling is setting up the 3D printer, we also welcome you guys to give us to drop any of your questions about this 3D printer or any questions related to 3D printing. Okay, so let me check. Right, that is pink or purple color. Okay, so yeah, the color is the most attractive part on this 3D printer. When you see it from far, right, you known 3D print. If you already known 3D printer for a while now, all the printers that you normally see are black, dull color. So what Big Tree Tech did is they actually included a very how to say a very attractive color in this 3D printer. It's actually not pink or not purple. It's actually magenta, and it's very attractive. So this magenta color is on the aluminum profile, which is surrounded on the stepper motor and also a part of the structures are for the 3D printer. All right, and not only that, the BQ B1 3D printer. Okay, first thing we announced this as the fastest assembly 3D printer out there, and now the next thing is okay the attractive color over here, and third, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and answer questions from our comment sections over here. What is partially assembled means? Partially assembled means that um, some of the parts like the gantry, the stepper motor, you don't have to assemble it yourself. It's already pre-assembled. All right. All you need to do is mount both sides of the profile together to the bottom of the controller. And the bottom of the controller, everything is tightly sealed together with the power supply. So you don't actually need to open anything or you don't need to screw anything anymore. Everything is already there, including the belt, the tensioner, and everything. All right. So there's not much for you to assemble. Okay, everything is very modular. Right, the word is modular over here. Okay, next question, what does this 3D printer has auto bed leveling? Unfortunately, no, but this 3D printer supports Build Touch, which is one of Big Tree Tech main accessory, and the BQ B1 comes with a BL Touch stand. Okay, it comes with this stand in the package, which means they sort of predicted that at some point you will upgrade your BQ B1 3D printer. So with this stand, you can directly mount your BL Touch on the 3D printer, and then there's actually a slot at the back of the 3D printer for you to directly connect your BL Touch. You don't need to open up your controller and look for the correct pin to connect like Creality 3D printer. This one, everything is already there. You just need to plug, and then the firmware is already preloaded with the BL Touch. Just have to click, all right, and use the BL Touch. Okay, so right now, no auto bed leveling, but it supports BL Touch. Right now, it's still spring. You still have to manually level your bed. Okay, same question, simply that is pink or purple color. So it's magenta. Okay, very silk shiny magenta color. What is the maximum printable size? So the printable size is 235, and 270 millimeter, right? 27 cm, 23.5 cm by 23.5 cm. So it's slightly bigger than Ender 3 and Ender 3 Pro, right? But if you compare it with CR6, the print size is similar, okay? But the height is slightly taller. It's 270 if I'm not right, if I'm correct. Okay. Oh, the gantry is done. Yes, the gantry is done, and Ling just assembled the hot end. The hot end is actually separated, so you only need to connect two things on the hot end. One is the Bowden tube to the extruder, and another thing is a C-type cable for the hot end. Okay, so you probably never heard of this, but the hot end is actually connected through C-type cable. You connect this C to your hot end and then the other side directly to the controller. But bear in mind that you can't use a normal C-type cable for this hot end. This C-type is specifically designed for this printer. Okay. All right. Next question from Afandi. Is this use SD card or memory card for printing files? Okay, this 3D printer, it supports SD card and it supports pen drive. So you can connect, okay, over here, if you can't see, okay, at the front side, it actually supports USB or TF card or SD card, lah. Right? You can use either one of these to load your files. Okay, thank you. Shaman, BQ printer came from which company originally? Big Tree Tech. Yes. So the printer came from Big Tree Tech, which is the one of the big players for 3D printing accessories. Kim Ling, what sort of materials can it handle? PETG, TPE, or ABS? All of the above that you mentioned. So whichever material depends on the temperature it can support. So for this 3D, for this BQB1, it supports almost all the common filament available in stores, PLA, PETG, TPE, ABS, and before I forget, the BQB1 actually have a magnetic bed, and this magnetic bed is SSS. So it's a type of metal plate that is magnetic, and it supports actually very high temperature for ABS, so that to ensure that the material sticks on the bed lah. All right. Okay, Ling is done. The 3D printer is done. So he took less than 10 minutes and he completed the setup. He already turned on the 3D printer. All right, the wiring is all done. There are a total of 5 wires that you have to connect. And yeah, the setup is done. Less than 10 minutes. Jin Lau, direct drive or Bowden. Okay, but of course you can upgrade it to direct drive. So BQB1 is a Bowden extruder 3D printer. And then over, what is the build bed, flexible or glass or normal? So I answered this. This is magnetic and it's actually metal sheet kind of bed. Okay. Hi. All right. Thanks, guys, for all the good questions. I really like all the questions. It's very straight to the point. I'm going to continue answering your questions. Simply better than Creality Ender 3. Okay, that's a very good question. Okay. So all 3D printers comes with different learning curve. Ender 3 comes with a wider range of learning curve. You have to assemble the 3D printer yourself. You have to go bit by bit, components by components. But of course, the printer is cheaper, and there's a lot of things you can experiment on Ender 3 because it's like the cheapest 3D printer out there. BQB1, it's how to say, it comes with a range of features for you to be able to upgrade your 3D printer in the next step. I'm not saying that Ender 3 doesn't allow you to do that. Ender 3 does allow you to do that, but it requires more experimenting for you to achieve it. That is because this printer is manufactured by Big Tree Tech, and Big Tree Tech provides a lot of accessories for 3D printers, which is also compatible with Ender 3. So what I can say is you can't really compare both 3D printers. Both have their own advantage. and of course their price is also different. Okay, Kimling 8-bit, 32-bit board. So this is 32-bit board, right? This is a 32-bit. It has a 32-bit motherboard. Okay, next, let's see. It is silent motor driver using TMC. Yes, silent motor, very quiet. If you have experience with Ender 3 and once you switch to this 3D printer, you will notice the difference in terms of the decibel, the noise decibel. This is because the power supply, the controller, everything is all mounted at the bottom of the 3D printer. It seals the noise very well, and actually all four corners of the bottom chamber is all foam, so there's no vibration at the bottom. You can't really feel noise coming out from the fan, okay, except for the hot end fan. So there's actually 3 fans mounted at the hot end itself, 3 fans left and right and front, right? So this is one of the special feature from this BQB1, where the airflow that comes in from the fan actually directs directly to the nozzle head. So when you extrude your filament, it is able to cool off pretty quickly and make sure that the filament solidifies. Okay. So they spend a lot of design on the hot end itself. Alright, Shaman. Similar to Creality Ender 3 Pro, but with extra features, is it? Creality Ender 3 Pro doesn't have silent board. And did I mention that this is actually touchscreen and it actually supports dual boot, 2 different operating systems. So you can use the touchscreen OS, or you can use a normal Ender 3 operating system, means you turn the knob and then you just click and then you switch. So the interface can be the same as Ender, or it can be the BQB1 touchscreen mode, right? So it has a lot more features than Creality. Okay, one thing that I can see immediately is there's a filament sensor over here. So if there's a breakage on your filament, or if your filament is exposed to the air for too long, or if you have a long print and then your filament suddenly break, there's a sensor that is able to detect there's a breakage and it will stop the 3D printer from continue printing. Okay, this prevents your printer to continue heating up the hot end and the bed, right? So this is part of the safety feature on this BQB1 printer, right? Filament sensor. The screen is touch screen. Yes. How much is B1 now? How much is B1 now? 1049. Right? Yes. So it's 1049 right now, and it comes with 4 different 200-gram filament. Okay, 200-gram filament. So these days we like to include a bundle of filaments with multiple colors. So you get to try out with different colors. You get to experiment with different colors and create different kinds of objects. All right, print different kinds of printed objects. With more colors, you can actually do more things. IME Mechatronics got auto leveling. What type of sensor used for that? So for this BQB1, out of the box, there's no auto leveling, but you can upgrade using BL Touch. Okay, BL Touch is a leveling sensor that is compatible with BQB1 and also Ender's Creality 3D printers as well. All right, the assembly method is slightly different. For BQB1, there's a slot at the back that you can directly plug in the BL Touch. Okay, and then the operating system also have BL Touch preloaded, so you just need to plug and play the BL Touch. But of course, you will still need to do some tweaking as you go. Jian Lao, since it is Bolden, would that be an issue for those printing TPU 85A? So it is okay for TPU. There are a lot of different types of problems that you will face if you print using TPU. For Bolden, you may need to upgrade a bit just to ensure that the TPU doesn't come out from the extruder. All right, and then temperature wise, it's fine. But of course, people recommend direct drive for TPU because there's no filament. Right, you don't have any issues with the filament coming out back and forth, right? So it's printable, but it's not the perfect type of drive for TPU material. Okay, similar to Ender 3, Ender 3 Pro, CR6, all these printers, they're all as for starters, it will come with Bolden extruders. Okay. All right, guys, keep coming with your questions, or else I'll be starting with the giveaway soon. Right now, what Link is trying to do is he just set up the Silk PLA Plus filament to the printer, and he has just selected a file for printing to show you guys that we actually set up this 3D printer in less than 10 minutes, and now in the next 10 minutes, we have already heated up the hot end and the bed, and we are going to print something small. Okay, so Shaman, what does the RGB do? RGB, if you are referring to the RGB from the extruder, so this is actually some the additional features. You can actually, it's okay, Shaman. All right, we like questions. Keep coming with your questions. The RGB, you can actually change the color on the hot end. There's an LED built in at the hot end. You can change the multiple colors at the hot end, and also the knob. Right, when you switch the knob, you can actually customize what color you want on the knob. So these are the small little things that Big Tree Tech added into this printer, so that it feels like, oh, you actually own this printer. It's more customizable now. Okay, maybe we can show you that you can actually turn on the hot end color right now. So there are a few colors that you can adjust. Okay, Wei Shen, what model is this? BQB1. BQB1. Okay, BQB1. Okay, heat bed is 12 volt or 24 volt. Heat bed is 12 volt or 24 volt. I can't really tell. Okay, this is one info that we haven't really checked, but good question. All right, we will get back to you on this. Okay, guys, keep the question coming. But while we begin our printing, I'm going to check the heat bed 12 volt or 24 volt. At the same time, let's begin with our quiz for the giveaway. Okay, I know some of you guys are here for the giveaway. I'm glad you guys are here. All right. Okay, thanks for understanding, Jen Lao. Let's begin with the quiz. So again, the printer is BQB1. Okay, it looks like this. One thing that I would like to highlight about this 3D printer is it actually have a very small footprint compared to the Ender 3's 3D printer. When you take the Ender 3 or Ender 3 series or even CR series, you will be able to see that there's actually a huge the profile. It's there. You can see the profile very visibly. All right, but for BQB1, it's all tight, all neatly placed at the bottom, so you can't actually see there's an extrusion of profile. Alright, this is just aesthetic lah. Alright, there's no advantage on the performance. Both performance works very well. They can print very high quality prints. Okay, just aesthetic. So BQB1, it's very narrow, but it's slightly longer and taller. The whole footprint. Okay, so before we start our giveaway quiz, here are some of the rules. Okay, sorry, but there are only 4 questions, means there are only 4 filament rolls, 200 gram filament rolls that we are giving out. Each question will get 1 filament. Write a complete answer as following. Means you have to, when you answer the quiz, you have to write your answer including the A dot 3D printer or B dot Malaysia. You have to write out the whole answer. If you write A, B, C, it doesn't count. First to write the whole complete answer wins. Okay. Write your answer in the comment live chat section. If you're in YouTube, write your answer in the YouTube chat section. If you're in Facebook, write your answer in the comment section. Those with the correct answer and lucky will be chosen as the winner. So we will look at whoever give the answer first. Number 6, list of winners will be announced tomorrow at Citron Facebook page. So we will publish the names. If you are from YouTube, you're using a YouTube account, make sure you check for your YouTube name. And then if you're on Facebook, we will publish your Facebook name. Okay, after that, we will you will have to contact Citron and then we will do the arrangement for the shipment of this gift. Last but not least, all judges' decisions are final. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy our live setup session while printing. Okay, so over here you can see that we actually turn on the let me quickly show you lah. You can actually see that we turn on the RGB color over here. All right, the color is over here. So you can change different colors. Okay, let's continue. Insta. Oh, we the live that we are having right now is not available in Instagram. We will only publish the winners in Facebook. Okay, so let's begin. Simple questions. Okay, are you all ready? Are you guys ready? Are you all ready? We don't have much time. Okay, great. Question 1. Which 3D printer did we assemble today? This is a very simple question. If you don't know, means you just join or you're not sure what's happening. Okay, you know, yes, but the question is you have to answer A dot B dot. So this is an objective question. So 3 questions, 3 answers. Is it A, Ender 3V2, B, BQB1, C, CR6SE? So which is the correct answer? You have to type the answer at the comment section. You have to type the answer at the comment section. Okay. All right. Okay, great. So the answer is, okay, I think we have a winner. The answer is B, BQB1. Okay, try again. We have 3 more questions. So get ready. Question 2. Ready? BQB1 consists of A glass bed, B, a magnetic bed, C, a plastic bed. So which bed does BQB1 have? Do you know? I did talk about this very quickly. So you have 3 types of bed. Right now we have 3 options. Which bed does BQB1 have? If you're not sure, it's never too late to go to our website and quickly check. Okay, I think we have a few answers over here. Okay. All right. Okay, good job, guys. So the answer is B, magnetic bed. The 3D printer have a magnetic bed, and this magnetic bed is actually made out of metal. Right? It is able to withstand higher temperature, and it spreads the temperature more evenly. Okay, we are printing something right now. Question 3. Are you ready? Okay. Below are some BQ-B1 features except, except A, color touch screen, B, filament sensor, C, integrated toolbox. Except. Do you know which one? So BQ-B1 have a lot of features, but which is the feature that it doesn't have? Let's see. Okay, I think all of you got it correct, or most of you got it correct. All right, so I think we have a winner here, and the answer is C, integrated toolbox. So in BQ-B1, there's no integrated toolbox. Everything is so compact at the bottom that there's no space for you to actually add toolbox anymore. Unlike the Creality CR6 SE or Ender 3 V2, you have a compartment for your drawer for your toolbox. For BQ-B1, it doesn't have an integrated toolbox. All right, last question. Question 4. Below are some of the available upgrades for BQ-B1 except upgrades. We're talking about upgrades. Okay, just now I mentioned a few upgrades. A, BL Touch. B, Smart Filament Sensor. C, Magnetic Bed. So this is a bit tricky, right? But just now I did mention that BQ-B1 is made from Big 3 Tech, and Big 3 Tech is a big player for 3D printing accessories. So they have a lot of accessories for their 3D printer. And one of the 3D accessories is one of these over here. And okay, bear in mind that the question is asking for except, all right? Not things that you can upgrade, but things that you can't upgrade. Okay, it's a trick question. But I think we have a winner here. Okay, I think we have a winner here. So the answer for this trick question is actually magnetic bed. Okay, even though there's a filament sensor in the BQ-B1, you are actually allowed to upgrade the BQ-B1 with a smart filament sensor which uses light to detect the filament breakage, whether it breaks or not. Right now it's using a switch. The filament sensor is using a limit switch to detect. So there's actually another slot at the back, an empty slot for you to upgrade your filament sensor. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for participating in this quiz. Okay. I hope you guys enjoy our live session. We are currently still printing an object using our BQ-B1 3D printer. All right. But okay, let me change the screen over here so that you can see. Okay. All right. So you can see that there's actually green LED at the hot end over there. Okay, you can switch to different colors on the hot end, and then the bed over here, this is the magnetic bed. Okay, to explain a bit, of course we haven't ended our session yet. Feel free to drop your questions here in the comment section. We can still answer you, all right, while we are printing. But of course, we won't be able to print the whole object in time. And then there's the so over here at the x-axis, the belt, you have to pull to get the tension of the belt. But for the y-axis over here at the bottom, there's actually a belt tensioner. You can just twist the knob or to increase the tension of the belt. So overall, this printer it's built to look aesthetically pleasing. It looks nice. You look at it, there's a lot of things you can customize. Multiple operating system. There's even a built-in terminal for you to play around with the G code. You can actually key in your specific G code to control the 3D printer. It's how to say it's built for low level usage and also high level usage. All right, high level means if you want it to boot Marlin like Ender 3, go ahead, you can click and boot a different operating system. How big is the community of user using this 3D printer? How new is this? So this 3D printer is released around mid of this year. Right? It's relatively new, but Big 3 Tech is a well-known player in 3D in the 3D industry. They have a lot of accessories that is used to upgrade Ender 3 printers, Ender Creality 3D printers. So they finally decided that they want to design this 3D printer that is highly compatible with their accessories. So I would say it's a beginning for a lot of people to start with this 3D printer. But of course, the controller used in this 3D printer is actually similar to Ender 3v2, right? MKR, no, MKR. So SKR. But it's a well-known upgrade. So if you are worried about where to find information about this 3D printer, you don't have to worry because the accessories are already out there. A lot of people have been using these accessories and a lot of experiments have been done in the community of 3D printing. Right now, it's just they use the accessories and create a 3D printer out of it. Okay. All right. So I hope I answered your question, Tim Ling. And last question from Shaman. Does it consume a lot of power? Okay, power, I think it's almost similar to Ivory 3D printer, right? You have a heated bed, you have a hot end over here. But there's one thing that I would like to highlight about this 3D printer is there's actually an insulation at the bottom of the heated bed, right? There's an insulation covered at the bottom of the heated bed to avoid heat from dispersing through the bottom to the controller so that it is able to retain the heat at the heat bed. Means you save power from that side. We can't show you the camera at the bottom of the heated bed, but it's near the spring there where you can actually see a layer of insulation covered there so that it can retain the heat from the heat bed. Okay, I hope that's a very good question actually. Because that design, you don't see that design in all types of printers. All right, any more questions? Personal experience is that I think if you use this 3D printer in your office, you can't really disturb anyone because it's so quiet. This printer is so quiet. Right? The tree fan it's actually not very loud. If you sit in your own cube, you are the only person who can listen, who can hear the fan. Everyone else won't even know you are printing. Does it support Octoprint? So from the community, yes, it supports Raspberry Pi and Octoprint. Citron will be testing out this as well, and we will also show you guys how to do it. But this is from my experience when I check on the community group. People actually tried out that the SKR microcontroller actually supports Octoprint. You just need to get the right firmware. Okay, so thank you guys for joining our live session. I think we will end our session here. We are still printing, but what percent ready? Not yet. Okay, all right. So thank you guys again for joining this session. We hope you enjoyed this session. And one last thing before you leave, tomorrow will be the last day of our 3D campaign. 2020 means that we will have a variety of 3D printing accessories and including 3D printers discount at our website. But of course, there will be a BQB1 discount for the next whole week until the first week of January. So thank you guys again for all your good questions and hope to see you again soon. All right. Goodbye. Thank you guys. Bye.
네, 맞아.